All right, final lesson here, volume of a sphere. I won't get too deep into how this formula is made also, just because it'll drag out a lot of time. But the volume of a sphere is 4 divided by 3, or 4/3, times pi, times the radius cubed. So you got to be careful here. When you get to your calculator, right, whatever that number is, you're going to have to cube it. So you might have a button that says x cubed on it, but probably not. You probably have a button that looks like this with an x. Oops, that's not a very good x. An x with a y above it, or a y with an x above it. So what that allows you to do, or you might have this arrow here. So like if I want to do 5 to the power of 3, right? Well, 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. So this is a good one to test it on. So generally you hit 5, and then you have to hit one of these buttons, whatever it looks like. On my calculator, it looks like this. And then I have to hit 3, and then you hit equals, and it should spit out the number you're looking for, okay? If you don't have one of those, you'll just have to multiply it by itself 3 times. So don't forget, D is the diameter all the way across, R is the radius halfway across. We want the radius, okay? So this is the first one's pretty easy here. Pluto is the smallest planet in the solar system. The diameter of Pluto is approximately, diameter, there's the key word, right? Diameter is this, so we need the radius. So we're definitely gonna have to divide that by 2 to get half of that, which is gonna be 1,145 kilometers. All right, so there's our, radius. All right, so let's just punch that in our formula. Pretty easy, right? I'm gonna go 4 divided by 3, then I hit times, I'm gonna hit my pi button, and then I'm gonna hit times, and I'm gonna hit 1,145 cubed. You might even wanna do that part first. If it was me, what I generally do is here's the order. I go 1,000, here, I'll even bring up my calculator and we'll check it out. All right, so let's see here. Might be a little different order of button pushing on here, but what I do is I go, okay, 1,145 to the power of, see that x, y, I have that on this calculator, and then I hit 3 to the power of 3. It gives me a really big number. There we go. Then I'm going to hit times and hit pi. Gives me this number. Then what you can do is multiply it by the 4 up top, right? Because it's just this times 4. So times it by the 4 up top. And then at the end, just hit divided by 3. And there you go. And you get 6, what is it? 100,000 million, 6 billion. Looks like about 6.2 billion. Let me write it down here. So the volume is approximately 6,287,891,936 kilometers cubed, because we're back to cubed, right? Because this is a 3-dimensional measurement. All right, one more we're going to check out here real quick. This is a really common question, so watch out for ones like this. It's a really common question, especially if we are in grade 9, if we are in class, to have a sphere inside of a box. So imagine we got a box. I know I'm doing a pretty bad job here, and I got a ball inside it, right? Maybe I'll redraw my ball a little better here. Okay, so there's my sphere. Here's my not very good ball, but there you go. All right, a gemstone, a spherical gemstone, so a sphere, fits just inside a plastic cube with the edges all 10 centimeters. So every side of this cube is 10, 10, 10. And what they want us to realize is that the sphere's diameter, since it fits just inside, is also 10, right, to fit right inside. So that's the diameter, which means the radius is half of that. The radius is 5. Okay, so part A. Calculate the volume of the gemstone to the near cubic centimeter. All right, so volume is 4 divided by 3 times pi times the radius, which is 5 cubed. So what I would do first is I would do 5 cubed, right? I'd go, all right, well, what's 5 cubed? That's 125. All right, so let me get my calculator back up here again. Clear that out. So we went 5 cubed. 5 to the power of 3 is 125. Then I'm going to hit times pi equals, times it by 4 equals, and then divide it by 3. All right, so I got 523.6 approximately, we'll say. 523.6. All right, so the volume is approximately 523.6 centimeters cubed. All right, so that's how big this sphere, how much it takes up, right? That's the volume inside of it. All right, last part now. Part B says, okay, how much empty space is there? Well, to find the empty space, we need to find the volume of the cube. So I'm going to write V cube here. I should have wrote V sphere next to that one, but oh well. Now, cube is just length times width times height, right? All sides are the same, so it's just 10 times 10 times 10, or 10 cubed, right? We could just punch in our calculator. What's 10 to the power of 3? Same thing, right? Either way, we're going to get 1,000 centimeters cubed. All right, so the cube takes up 1,000 centimeters. The sphere only takes up 523.6 centimeters cubed. So all we have to do to find the empty space is subtract them. That's it, right? And that'll be the leftover space. So how much, is in all this space around here. Okay, so what's 1,000 minus 523.6? And they're both, that's an approximate number, that 523.6. So we're going to get approximately 476.4 centimeters cubed. So there's our final answer there, okay? All right, so that's the last lesson. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you that made it all the way to the end, good work.